Hi, welcome to Glow's Kindred Kitchen, and I'm Glow. Today we're going to be making a turkey a la king. And I wanted to show you how I make mine. I'm sure there's many recipes, and mine is just kind of something that I've come up through, through the years. And, I'm always tweaking it, but I just thought I'd show you what I do. The first thing I want to do is I have my pot here heating up, and it's actually pretty warm right now. And to that, I'm going to put, maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And I'm going to put in a tablespoon of butter. And the reason I'm doing that is we're going to be sauteing veggies, or vegetables. And I went ahead before we got started here, like I usually do when I cook, and I cut up 1 onion. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this in as we're talking. There's 1 onion chopped, as you can see. So you can see about the size of the pieces. There's about 1/3 of a green pepper, or 1/2 cup. There are probably at least 1/2 cup of mushrooms. Maybe a little bit more than that. There's 2 stalks of celery, including leaves. Leaves add a lot of flavor. And 2 carrots that I cut up kind of like that. We're just going to go ahead and add all of that to this. I'm just going to stir that. I might as well just use the spoon. The spoon I had in the gravy that I'm going to be using for this. And for Thanksgiving, I had made turkey stock from my turkey carcass that I always save. And on YouTube, I do have a recipe for that, and it's under Thanksgiving turkey stock and soup. And also, I have gravy left from my turkey, and that would be, I believe it's on Thanksgiving turkey recipe. And I posed both some turkey stock and turkey gravy that I had left over, and also turkey. So I thought today would be a perfect day to use some of that for turkey a la king. So right now we're just going to go ahead and continue to saute this until it starts to get a little soft. And so we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hi, well, welcome back. We're in the middle of sauteing these veggies. They've been sauteing now about 2.5 minutes or so. And I went ahead and I cut up some, I'm going to show you here. These potatoes are just delicious. They're called baby Dutch yellow potatoes. And I'll tell you, we just love them. And so I had cut up 6 of them into bite-sized pieces like this, along with 1 sweet potato that I peeled and cut up. And when I cut these up in advance, what I do is I cover them with water. That way they don't brown. And these have been sitting here probably half hour, 45 minutes, and as you can tell, they did not brown at all. So that's just a nice little tip, for when you're cooking, so you can prepare it ahead of time. But these are going to continue to saute probably about 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. Hi, well, our veggies have been sauteing here probably for about 5 minutes total. And what I like to do before I add any liquid or anything to this is I'm going to add a few herbs. Even though my gravy and my stock has herbs in it, now that I've added more veggies, I think I'm going to need a little bit more for that savory flavor. So I always add a bay leaf, and for this amount here, I'm just going to add 1/2. This is something, though, you should always try and take out before you serve, or try and find it. And make sure to tell people that you have one in there and not to eat it. It's just very hard. You don't want someone choking. And I'm just going to lightly sprinkle some black pepper on here. Maybe like 1/2 teaspoon to start. Because remember, I've got seasonings going on in the gravy and the stock as well. And I'm going to do about 1/2 teaspoon of rubbed sage. And the same amount of thyme. And what I do with the thyme is I do that with my fingers, and that helps distribute the oils in that to get that started going a little bit. And then I just do a couple of dashes of nutmeg. Nutmeg really goes well with stuff like this. If you look on your poultry seasoning bottle, it'll usually have nutmeg in it as well. Oh, that smells so good. So we're going to continue to let this cook probably about 2 more minutes. So a total of 7 to 8 minutes. And then we'll be back and we'll add the gravy and the stock and we'll continue on. Hi. Well, I've been sauteing this again for about a total of 8 to 9 minutes right now. And I want you to look down in here in this pan. Do you see all that dark tidbits on the bottom?
Yes, I do.
That is our friend. It's going to add a lot of flavor to this, even though we have a lot of flavor going on with the gravy and the stock. But if I were to need to add a little bit of extra water to this, I'd be fine. This is going to be very flavorful. So I'm going to go ahead and add, I think I'm going to add the stock first. And this stock, like I said, was what I made from my turkey carcass right after Thanksgiving. And when I made that turkey, that stock, it made enough for us to have soup for a couple of days. Plus, I froze this pint and also a quart. And I still have the quart in the freezer. Now I'm just going to stir this to kind of get those brown tidbits up off the bottom. And then we're going to add the gravy. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the gravy for turkey and for chicken and stuff. The reason I have so much gravy, and we only had 3 people for Thanksgiving this year, Richard, myself, and our youngest son, because of the pandemic. Usually we have a house full. But with that being said, I always have a lot of gravy. And I think the main reason why is because I brine my turkey beforehand, and it makes the most delicious gravy and turkey. So this gravy here is what I have left over from that. And we had several meals prior to now with that gravy that I had made. So that just kind of shows you how much there is. There is at least 6 cups here. And that recipe, it's called Thanksgiving Turkey Brine on YouTube. But doesn't that look good?
It does, and it smells good, Miss Glow.
So now I'm going to pick this up with pot holders because this is hot. I warmed it up in the microwave and defrosted it. And we're just going to slowly put this in. I wish you guys were here. This just smells so yummy. Okay, now we're going to stir this all together. And then I also have turkey that I've shredded, and we'll be putting that in a little while, just like probably 5 to 10 minutes prior to serving it, because you don't want that turkey to be in there much longer than that. It'll kind of get soggy and stuff. But just, I think it turns out better to do it that way, especially since it was already pre-roasted. There we go. We're going to let this simmer for a while to let the vegetables and stuff to continue cooking, and we'll see you back in a bit. Hi. Well, our turkey a la king has been cooking here without the turkey in it for about another half an hour, and it's ready for us to add the turkey that I went ahead and I had shredded earlier. And this is from Thanksgiving, and I froze it. There's white and dark meat. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and I just had covered this with saran wrap and had it in the refrigerator ready to put in to this. By doing stuff ahead of time, it just makes it so much easier when you're cooking. And I have the biscuits in the oven right now cooking, and they should be done in about 3 to 4 minutes. And shortly after they're out of the oven, we're going to be ready to eat. But you can see how I left, the pieces fairly large. There. I'm just going to stir this in. And my burner's on low. And this is just going to heat through. And I'll be ready to eat. If I have any leftovers from this, which I probably will, I could make a turkey pot pie with this very easily. Or I could do turkey with dressing dumplings, and that's delicious too. But we're just going to do this for tonight, and maybe if we have enough left over, I'll show you how I do those others. But anyway, I'll be back with you in a little bit to show you the finished product. Hi, well, welcome back. Our turkey a la king is all done, and it looks delicious. Starting to, bubble up real good. I did put some frozen peas in it. I prefer frozen vegetables or fresh vegetables over canned. And it's going to be such a good dinner. Here's the biscuits that I just did. And I went ahead and split them. And you split them with a fork like that. And then you just pour this over the top. You could also serve this over mashed potatoes, and that's very good too. But doesn't that look delicious?
Looks good, Miss Glow. Let's eat.
Yeah. I'll take a bite.
I knew you would.
It's like having Thanksgiving all over again. It is so good, you guys. Very good. So if you would like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. And thank you for joining us today. Bye.